Welcome back to Travel Talk Thursdays. Today we're heading to the heart of Ethiopia to explore one of Africa's most fascinating destinations. I'm joined by Desale Asfaw, who's the CEO and founder of Grand Holidays Ethiopia Tours. Since founding Grand Holidays Ethiopia Tours in 2003, Desale has become a true pioneer in Ethiopian tourism, crafting tailor-made, once-in-a-lifetime experiences and earning global recognition, including National Geographic Adventure's Best Adventure Travel Company on Earth. And in 2024, he was honored among the 100 global leaders in African travel by Africa Travel 100. In our conversation, we're going to uncover a little bit about what makes Ethiopia such a unique destination, from ancient religious festivals and photographic expeditions in the Omo Valley to rare wildlife encounters and the otherworldly landscapes of the Danakil Depression. We'll also hear about his dedication to responsible tourism, his expansion across Africa, and his passion for sharing Ethiopia's coffee heritage with the world. So settle in. This is going to be a rich journey into culture, adventure, and innovation with one of Africa's leading tourism voices. Desale, thanks very much for joining us here on Travel Talk Thursdays with Journeys Worldwide. You are coming to us straight from Ethiopia right now, am I right?
That's absolutely right, Shane. Thanks for having me. Yes, this is straight from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the African capital.
Oh, fantastic. Now, Desale, you were just telling me earlier that you grew up in Lalibela. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you came about and how you started up forming your company and where you've gone?
Yes, I'm from the historical town of Lalibela. It is a town very famous for its rock-hewn churches that are hewn 900 years ago out of one solid rock. They're often referred by many as the living wonders of the world because these are world wonders that are still alive. Not many wonders of the world are still, active place of use, active place of worship. But these churches, from the time that they have been carved, have been used in the same manner as an active place of worship. So that's why they call it living wonders. So every day people go to the churches. There are ceremonies and colorful festivals that happens at this church. There are 11 of them hewn out of one solid rock. It's just like an underground town. It's a whole system that has been connected. All the drainage, the walkways, the underground tunnels, and everything has been connected perfectly in such a way, carved out of one solid rock. It's just unbelievable how that is
That's amazing
possible.
technology. And any idea how they did that?
They used, according to chronicles, there are chronicles that actually describes on the day-to-day activities during that period, how all that has been done. So that's been written on a gold parchment. So it states that they've been using axes, hammers, and all that kind of thing. Of course, there's no any other technology to it during that period. But
That's amazing. Just with hammers and chisels, that was quite something. So you grew up around there, and that's what inspired you to come into tourism?
that's right. That's how I've been inspired from a very early age. So when I go to school, I see people traveling and coming, and I start talking to them and practicing my English. And but I still keep on going to school. And when I finished my high school, I started working as a tour guide, just taking people around the Rocky churches, which I know really well from my childhood because my father is also a head priest in one of the Rocky churches,
Oh,
and
well.
we grew up playing, hide and seek, running through the tunnels, and on our way to school. And when we came back, so there are a lot of sacred tunnels we try to discover every time. There are a lot of amazing things, that I did growing up around the Rocky churches. So I was just showing people my experience as a child. So it was a very easy thing for me. So um, as I finished high school, I just worked as a freelance as a tour guide for some time, and then came to Addis to study in the university.
Okay. And then you started up Grand Holidays Ethiopia Tours quite so, it was over 20 years ago, wasn't it?
That's right. And soon after I completed my studying, I was also doing this, doing some part-time work when I have the free time. I take people around the historic roots of Ethiopia into the tribes of the Omo Valley, into the Bala Mountains. So I explored it myself and went traveling with some people, and then I started taking people. So whenever they have some companies, whenever they have business, they call me when I have a break, a school break. So I would take them around to their place with the Ark of the Covenant in Axum, and to the tribes of the Omo Valley, or we would go and look for one of the most endangered kind of the Ethiopian wolf in the Bala Mountains, in the Simien Mountains. So I had a great chance to get to know my country well, and a great experience. So I developed it as a tour guide. Then I started working as a tour operator, also as a freelance. And then soon after that, I started Grand Holidays Ethiopia, actually from scratch, and built it up to be an award-winning tour company.
It's fantastic. And I mean, you've certainly achieved a lot with that as well. I mean, National Geographic recognized you, National Geographic Adventures Best Adventure Travel Company on Earth. And you were also honored last year with being among the top 100 global leaders in African travel. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, we've
That's
been awarded.
phenomenal. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That we've been awarded best National Geographic Best Adventure Company on Earth, and that actually helps us to brand ourselves as a high-end luxury company, and of course, providing amazing experiences for people coming here, showing my beautiful country around. And we started with one tour guide, one operator, and one car when we first started. And before COVID, we actually grew to more than 30 something people working in the
Wow,
company,
that's big.
and it created a lot of jobs for many people. And we still have a lot of tour guides with different who speaks different languages and who are also experts on different areas, from bird watching to cultural exploration, photographic trips.
A lot of work has gone into it, and I'm sure COVID had a huge impact on everything that you did there as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were actually reaching a very high number of clients, and we had a lot of bookings before COVID. But since COVID, it's gone a little bit down.
You also served as a board member of the Ethiopian Tour Operators Association for a few years. That's that was also a significant achievement on your behalf.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I worked for about 3 years as a board of directors in the Ethiopian Tour Operator Association, which is the biggest tour operator association in the country. And we work with the governments and making sure they come up with the policies that will help tourism grow.
You do, I mean, you were just telling us you do a very broad range of things, but you specialize more in high-end and tailor-made experiences, which is where we have a great deal of synergy and a strong emphasis on responsible tourism, which is also something that we like to emphasize a lot. What sort of areas in responsible tourism, what are you looking at? Where do you sort of mainly focus on?
Uh, yeah, when we say responsible tourism, we want to make sure just tourism is not just about one time or a short time business and tourist that actually goes to places and leaves a lot of footprints on the areas. It causes a lot of damage. But what we focus on is making sure our clients, sorry about that, our clients actually return with less footprints as possible in the area that they're traveling, and make sure the host community benefits out of it in terms of income. Even after the tour returns, we try to support in like helping people in the areas with the schools, clinics, and creating awareness, and of course making sure that they are rewarded for preserving their cultures, and of course they are encouraged to do more by protecting their environments. Like for example, the Simi Mountains with the wolf, in the Jola de Babun, we actually have a project that's going on there, building a very good lodge on the top of mountains that actually will support more in the community. And of course, we still do support the schools in that area, and we support the clinics, and we always are more engaged in supporting the community. And we advise people, encourage people, instead of just giving some donation to individuals, to support community centers, health centers, and the schools, so that way they can change the
Absolutely.
lives of more people than just few people.
Yeah, that's so important that. And now your Ethiopia's got a lot of unique things about it, and you obviously going throughout the country. But I think one of the areas is the Danakil Depression, lowest and hottest point on Earth, and you run tours down there, don't you?
That's right. That's right. That's one of the most amazing places on earth. It's just like going to the Danakil Depression. It's like the moment you step into that Great Rift Valley area is completely different. By the way, this is the rift that runs all the way from Syria, dissects Africa into two, and goes to all the way to Mozambique, a place of active volcanoes, lava lakes that have been there permanent for many years, and that flows. And there are a lot of different color minerals on the ground, huge salt floods. And there's also something really interesting in that area. In the old ages, the salt bars used to be used as currencies. So people used to buy things with that. They used to use it to exchange goods with the salt bars. So that tradition is still there, and the Afro people, are still get salt bars and transported with camel caravans from the lowland to the highland, and that's
Okay.
actually sold in the market. That's still being used. It's such a good salt, by the way, to use. One of the oldest salts that you
Right.
can find that's been extracted from there, and you can see it live there. And the other experience is, of course, walking, having a lava truck on, going to the lava lake. You feel like you're walking on some other worldly planet. So you feel like you're walking on Mars or something.
So it's
With
obviously
all
not
the
molten lava. It's all it's cooled
It's,
off.
yeah, it's not. It's a dried, a dried lava, dead lava. So,
Yeah.
but you go all the way to the lava lake where you can see the bubbling. So
So you send your the camps down there on permanent. You send the camps
yeah,
down as and when you need them.
yes, yes. We send all our team, our truck, and everything together with our chef. But they go there and make such a nice their campsite, and that gives people a really unique experience.
Okay. And now from the lowest and hottest point on Earth, you've also got the Ethiopian highlands, which are just beautiful and home to a lot of endemic species. Now that's where one of my big passions is all the endemic species, a lot of from mammals through to birds, insects, plants.
Absolutely. I mean, Ethiopia is so beautiful and so diverse. Traveling to Ethiopia is like traveling to 3, 4 countries on a single trip. If you go to the Simi Mountains, it's completely different. It's home to many endemic wildlife. If you go to Bala Mountain, which is the eastern escarpment of the Rift Valley, the Simi is the western escarpment of the Rift Valley. So there, it's also very interesting to see the evolution of different species in that area. When what used to be one flat land, when the rift happens more than 40 something million years ago, they evolved to different species, but some species are still similar because it's a highland. By the way, Ethiopia has got about 70% of the African mountains, highlands, are
Oh,
found
wow.
in Ethiopia.
Okay.
So
I did not know
it's
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is home to lots and lots of mountains and very high peaks. So in these mountains and different areas, it's a home to endemic wildlife. Not many people think of Ethiopia as an endemic wildlife because people think of wildlife holidays to the common big fives or to the common safari experience that you find in Tanzania and Kenya. But we have our own endemic safari, endemic wildlife safari. We have our own endemic big fives. Endemic
Okay.
big fives. So Ethiopia is endemic with that you cannot
So what's the
find.
endemic big five to you then?
We have the Ethiopian wolf. That's the only surviving African wolf. The wolf experience
Right.
is one of them. We have the Ethiopian wali ibex. The wali ibex is another endemic one to Ethiopia. We have the Jalada baboon. It's
Right.
another endemic wildlife. We have the Niala, the Bali Mountains Niala, and
Okay.
we have the Milik bushbuck, which is also endemic to Ethiopia. So these are found in Ethiopia. There are many other wildlife that are endemic to Ethiopia. We
Oh,
actually have 8 days, uh, 14 days trip that covers these areas. But for people who's got shorter time, we can always try to shorten it by avoiding the drive with small charter flights, small aircraft flights to the destinations, and then using mobile comps in certain areas.
right. So in that 14-day trip, what are your chances of seeing the endemic five, the endemic big five?
90%.
Okay. That's a pretty good chance then, for such rare
It's a big,
animals.
oh yes, it's a big chance, but our guides, expert nature guides, they know where these are found and which areas to go and what time of the day to go, of course, and all that. So they make sure that you see them all. And
Right.
Ethiopia is home to a lot of endemic wildlife as well. So that's also another amazing thing that people can see. There are about 20 birds that are endemic to Ethiopia.
Well, having such a variety of habitat, it's fantastic. Can offer so much different options for different species.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
then going totally different again, something very unique. You take expeditions down to the Omo Valley, and there's some really interesting people down in the Omo Valley, different tribes who are all very different, aren't they?
That's absolutely true. This is again, traveling to Ethiopia is like traveling 3, 4 countries on a single trip, like going to the north in the Simi Mountains. You can see some endemic wildlife and amazing mountain scenery. And to go into the rock church of Lalibela, you see amazing rock churches. The landscape is different. The people, the culture is also so different. And in Aksum, where you can find the Ark of the Covenant, it's different. In the east, with the volcanoes is different. When you go to the south, you will find the true remote Africa, like you will not find anywhere else. You find tribes that live in the same way that they used to live hundreds of years ago, and maybe thousands of years ago, and doing the same thing. And we have about 81 more than 81 different ethnic groups in Ethiopia. So it's really
It's
interesting.
amazing to see because you got people like that from like the Omo Valley, which are very traditionally African, and then you go up to the religions and that side of it, and stories and beliefs that go back to the biblical days, and ties to the Bible, aren't there?
So many legendary rulers and queens, kings and queens, like the land of the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah.
And of course, it's one of the most ancient civilizations in the world.
That's amazing. It's quite mind-blowing actually to see things like what you say, like the Queen of Sheba and stuff like that, and going back to Solomon's time and so on. It's quite something.
It is, it
And
is.
then something.
And
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Again, it's a land where it all began. We call it the land of origin because this is the origin of humanity. Lucy, the 3.4 million years old
Of course, yes.
skeleton
Lucy,
we
yeah.
found in Ethiopia, in Afar area, the Danakil, this volcanic uh, depression area, is where the Lucy was found. So this is the land where a lot of things originated. It's the origin of coffee, the origin of mankind. A lot of fascinating things that can be actually explored.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. It's sounds like it's not just a 2 or 3 trip country. It's I think you're going to keep going back there every time there'll be something different to visit.
Absolutely. Once you're here, once you sample it, definitely you're going to get addicted. Like our coffee, the whole experience is addictive.
That was I passed through Addis Ababa last year, and I was traveling with one of our clients, and I insisted that we go across and partake in a coffee ceremony and have some traditional Ethiopian food. I mean, it is also very unique and fantastic. We always loved the Ethiopian food.
Yeah, I'm glad you get the taste of it, but you got to come and experience.
Well, Desali, thanks very much for joining us. And we certainly look forward to coming out there one of these days and experiencing, well, there's so much to experience, everything from the culture to the churches, the prehistory, the history, the different tribes, the cultures, the endemics, and of course the food and the coffee.
We would be so happy to have you here, and I'm sure you will come soon. And definitely, you will return home with a lot of fun memories to share with families and friends for the rest of your life.
Oh, I'm sure we will. And a bag full of coffee, no doubt.
Absolutely.